Look, man, today's topic: preemptive programming of the masses. What does this mean? Um, when you preemptively program something, you basically get someone used to it before you implement it. Okay, so say if you wanted to bring someone into a technologically advanced world, you would show them over and over again TV shows, movies, commercials, things like that. You'd put these things in their plain view and make them used to these things. You know what I mean? You would get them used to it. You get them comfortable with them, and especially if you want them to eventually become attached to them, addicted to them, you would get them used to interacting with them. Okay, and you would get them used to, or not only used to, but comfortable with this kind of thing. So when you see all these movies of artificial intelligence, and I don't know if you guys watched the Black Mirror series on Netflix, but it shows all kinds of things where they put implants into the brain, and then you become like superhuman. Even though most of the time in that series things end up going south, but they're just trying to get you used to humans interacting with technology, and also that the brain will be connected to something. And they're trying to get you used to this idea because when you have something that's outside the box in terms of that, you need to preemptively program the masses. Okay, you need to get them accustomed to this thing before you show it to them. Because if at the beginning, like even right now, I think they still need a ways to go before people won't be like, whoa, chill out a little bit. But the idea of implanting into the brain and being able to connect to like the internet with just your brain, it's going to kind of shock a lot of people. So you kind of have to preemptively program that and get them used to, okay, well, that doesn't seem too bad, and show them the ways that it can go great, but also show them, just ways that it go bad, just because you get the repetitiveness of showing them interacting with artificial intelligence. Because the marketing thing is going to be that once you attach yourself or get this implant into your brain, then you will become superhuman intelligent. And this is excuse me, this is far from the truth. This is you will become a carrier for artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is similar to the thing where I talked about the self-driving cars and things of that nature. So they don't just want to have like 10,000 people driving those cars and then switch on their control, and then they won't be able to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? They just go where they want them to go. This is the same thing with the brain implant. They don't want 10,000 people to get brain implant and then switch it on and be like, yo, all right, let's control these 10,000 people, and that's it. No. They want the world population to be, have these implants. They want probably eventually make it like a requirement that you get. And once they happen, once they do that, then as soon as they have the world control, and guys, this happens over a longer period of time than probably we will be alive. So it's not necessarily a big thing for the people in their 20s and 30s and on and things like that. But for the people that are, I'm saying, like in their singles, in their fives, I'm saying, the small children of today are the ones where this is going to be completely implemented when they are adults. So for us, people that are in their 20s, and then for people in their 30s and later, they have less to worry, but they do still have to worry a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is they're trying to get people used to these things. They're trying to get the children used to interacting with technology. That's why that's why they come up with so many movies for children and things of that nature. I mean, also for adults as well, but they have little subliminal messages inside those children films if you really watch it. But what I'm saying is that they're just trying to get everyone used to interacting with technology. And if you think about the children of today, they will not be brought up in a society that does not interact with technology. Okay, and at one point in time, the later society of today, they know what it's like to not have technology. And from what I can understand, this is honestly, once we've started interacting with technology, and especially wireless devices like this, the regression has happened for happiness and prosperity and things of that nature. So I think this is the ultimate goal, is to suppress us down to these depressive states, to these anxious states, these low vibrational frequency states, because that's where they want us to be, because that's the easiest way to control us, for one thing. That's the, you know what I'm saying, once you're depressed, once you're anxious, you start doing less, and you stay in the house more. You don't do things as much. You don't believe in yourself as much. You have less confidence. When in reality, belief is the biggest thing that you need in your life. Honestly, is belief. And when I mean belief in yourself. And that's a thing that's being lost nowadays. But like I said, these things are being preemptively programmed. Even down to, okay, like elections. Okay, why on earth do we have two parties that we pick from? Two candidates. You tell me that there was only two candidates on the ballot. That's 100% lie. But they make it seem like you only have a choice between one or the other, because they won't show you the rest, because the two people at the top, Democrat, Republican, are a part of the same agenda. They just go by a different name. Okay, it's like Apple and Samsung, or iOS and Android, that kind of thing. They're two different names. They're slightly different, but they're a part of the same thing. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So it's like I heard, I can't remember who said it, but they said that yes, there's two candidates to choose from, but every year the government gets in. So and they have too much writing on this kind of thing to leave it to chance. So that's why they only give you two choices, and it even seems like you have a decision, but it's an illusion of a decision, because they're making decisions 10 times, 15 times, 15 steps in front of the decision that you think you're making. So, like, the way they preemptively program you to be boxed in and be okay with choosing between two candidates is simple decisions. They make small, meaningless decisions. They make them boxed in. Okay, so as simple as little decisions, as simple as a restaurant. You have a menu. You are conformed to that menu. You cannot order Chinese food at a Mexican restaurant. Okay, this is very meaningless. This is very small. But this is what I'm trying to show you, the pattern of meaningless, pointless decisions. They're getting used to, okay, well, I only have this much to choose from, so I'm not going to look outside of what's going on. Okay, there's that. There's also, I mean, what carrier you use for your wireless, what Android, iOS, the list goes on, guys. These things are, we're programmed to make meaningless decisions in a box, so that they can make us comfortable with making big decisions in a box, because we have become accustomed to making big decisions in a box. Things like buying a car, you're kind of conformed to one kind of thing there, you know what I'm saying? And in houses, yes, you have different locations, but you have mainly the same structure. Yes, that sounds kind of like I'm kind of pulling hairs here, but you get what I'm saying. These decisions, they as they scale up, they become more and more conformed. That's why I've seen this one quote. That's why I think I posted about it. That's why we have like 24 flavors of fucking donuts, but you have two politicians to choose from. And you know what I'm saying? You have the illusion of choice when it comes to the politicians. There are more than 24 different candidates to choose from, but they only show you two. They only you know what I'm saying, they try to box you in to these things, and that's how they preemptively program you to be okay with boxed in decision making. So and this is also the thing where at this point society is a yes or no society, which is either you're on this side or that side. It's either you're a liberal or a conservative, when in reality most people are in the middle. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, in most ideas, questions, the answer is never yes or no. The answer is somewhere in the middle. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying? I think people have lost their expressiveness, if that makes any sense. Like, we've kind of conformed to the yes or no answers. Okay, so everyone's used to getting, are you with me or are you against me? And that's not really the case, because most people see the points from different sides and come up with their own thing. That's kind of a mixture of the both. You know what I mean? So these things, man, these preemptively programmed things, they're just they're very effective. I will give them that. They are very effective, and it's unfortunate because I can see it in I honestly, had to be shown, if you want to call it that, but listening to David Icke, listening to Graham Hancock, people like that, these things are happening, and at this point there is a war on consciousness, and I think that we need to kind of reevaluate where we're at with our consciousness and in our conscious state, because at this point we don't really have to accept this conscious state in terms of the alert, problem-solving conscious state. That does not necessarily mean have to be our normal, okay? Because what it proves is, yes, this is very good for like a hunter or a warrior or a fighter, you know what I mean? But these are horrible for a community of conscious beings. Okay, this conscious state that we've deemed as normal is good for making money, you know what I'm saying, and being the best, not being the best, but growing your bank account as high as you can. And it's not really anything to do with who you are truly, okay? And what I mean by that is they've given you the illusion that you are only a body, like I've talked about. They've given you the illusion that you are only one body and you are neural connections and things of that nature, and we've accepted that. And so that's, of course, why we act like that and why we've accepted the society that, goes along with that. And you can get outside of these conscious states by as simple as things as meditation. Of course you can. I've never done this, but they have these, these visionary plants. Is what Graham Hancock calls them. What they are is LSD and things of that nature. But what I'm saying is, who knows? Maybe that's the way to see the 95% of the world that we do not see. You know what I mean? Who knows what is true, what is true reality? You know what I mean? I don't think we understand what that is right now, and to kind of not like accept or even think, you know what I'm saying? Even ponder the idea that maybe those states are more of our, ground consciousness than the one we are sitting in is not really fair, because we don't know enough about this one. And I wish that science would kind of admit that consciousness is just a big question mark at this moment, because a lot of people think they have it figured out. Just because we're in this conscious state does not necessarily mean this is our base state, because if you see, it is very, very negative in terms of the way that society is today. Everybody's me, you know what I'm saying? There's not much community. There's not collective consciousness. There is not collective perception. There is collective perception of this illusion. In the most part, there are some movements that are kind of going outside of it, but like I said, these are these things that they preemptively program you into, because once it's from the moment you're born into do this a certain way, do that a certain way. And especially when you start going to school, they tell you to sit down, be quiet, and listen. You know what I'm saying? These things they tell you the answers and how to find them and things like that. And I think that the school system is a little messed up at the moment. So, but like I said, these preemptively programmed things, and especially with the school, I'll go back on the school just for a second. They make you scared of failure in school. They program you to be scared of failure through school, and the way they do that is the grading system. So if you fuck up and you get like a 40 on a test, then you're made to feel like shit. Then you're not doing good, and you're failing. You fear this failure. You get anxious when you take a test because you're scared of failing the test. These are these things they're programming you to, so that you're scared of failure and scared to take a chance in the outside world, in the you know what I'm saying. And that's why, honestly, if you look, most entrepreneurs that actually work their ass off are super successful. And that's kind of that should show you that failure needs to be welcomed, because that's where you find your most growth. You know what I'm saying? And in failure, you can learn so many things that you cannot learn with success. Because once you are successful at a certain thing, you think that you've mastered it. You think that that's enough. That I don't need to revisit that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, of course, once you start figuring things out, and failure becomes less and less, then of course, then maybe you have figured it out. Did not mean to kick that shit, but yeah, man. So like I said, man, these are these preemptively programmed things that they've put into society that have trying to program the masses to do certain things, and like I said, man, they got the AI agenda they're trying to program us to the implants in the brain, and I'll go ahead and tell you a detail about these implants in the brain. Elon Musk was talking to Joe Rogan about I think a company that he's actually a part of, and it's called Neurallink. That's the company, and actually, funny enough, I just watched this movie the other day. I think it's called Replica with Keanu Reeves. I think if I remember right, in the movie, the company or the process that they're using to merge and extract the consciousness and put it into a robot is actually called Neuralink. So that's kind of wild. So they're kind of getting used to that name. You know what I'm saying? And this product they're going to put on the brain is called the neural lace. So it's like a mesh, and they put it on your brain, and then you can interact with Google and things like that. I'm pretty sure is what the plan is. So you can basically think of an answer and try to search it on Google through your thoughts and come up with the answer. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they're programming you for these things. They're programming you to be okay with these things. And like I said, man, you will not become superhuman intelligent. You will become subhuman in the way that you will be a carrier for the artificial intelligence that they will implement and that they will use to control the masses. So, like I said, man, I don't know if I said this last time, but I don't necessarily mean, when I say the entities, I don't necessarily mean the artificial intelligence. It goes a little deeper than that. I'll probably visit that, and that'll probably be the next episode, is I'll finally see what y'all think about how I feel about the entities, because it's kind of out there. But like I said, man, they're doing these things, and they think we are. It's either one or two things. It's either they're trying to program us so bad that they don't care if we understand it, or if they just think we're too dumb to understand it. They show us right to our face of these worlds that they're trying to bring us into, these advanced worlds that they're trying to bring us into. Okay, so it's like, man, as simple as the damn Jetsons, man. You know what I'm saying? Flying cars, shit like that. They're trying to get you used to a society that's technologically advanced, because it's easy to control a society once they're technologically advanced. It's easier to control masses once it's that way, because as you see with the cell phones, they're controlling our media consumption. So of course they're going to have control over how you feel about the world, how you perceive the world, things of this nature. They are, if you go back and kind of look at how the world was before technologically advanced society rose, like today, you really see that they had a lot less control, and there was a lot more people, you know what I'm saying, like flying under the radar kind of thing, doing their own thing, you know what I'm saying. But now everybody's tracked on a cell phone. Everybody's recorded with the face camera. They're tapping into all these things, man. They really are. And if you don't think that the government or the companies get the the face scans that you use to unlock your phone, then you're kind of fooling yourself. And your thumbprint, man, they get those, man. I'm telling you, you don't think that they do, but they do. You have no privacy in a world like today. That's what I mean when it's easy to control technologically advanced society, is because you become less and less and less private. You have less and less privacy in those kind of worlds. So it makes it easier to preemptively program you. You know what I'm saying? To understand these things and to implement these things. So, like I said, man, these are just some things that I noticed, and some things that I heard from David Icke and Graham Hancock and people like that, of how they preemptively program people to the world that they want to bring them into. And if you really pay attention to the symbols and the movies nowadays and the TV shows, you will see it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a question, because like he said, what exactly did he say? Once you see, I think I actually said this one. Once you see the macro, it allows you to understand the micro. Okay, what I mean by that is once you see the bigger agenda, you understand these little things in why society is designed in the way that it is today. Because these small little things all add up to the big agenda. And you don't realize it because, so you don't connect the two until you see the big true agenda of control and things like this. So, like I said, man, this has been preemptive programming of the masses. And, yeah, man, this is, if you ever haven't seen the Black Mirror series, go check it out. It's pretty impressive. They got a new season coming out. And, I don't even know. I think it's this month, to be honest with you. So that's coming out, and they got the new damn Terminator coming out. That I'm telling you, man, these things are just they're obvious signs once you understand the true agenda. I mean movies like iRobot, or if you've ever seen I don't think that this one really hit the masses in the way that they wanted it to, but Ex Machina, and it's I don't want to say it's a European film, but I think it is. I'm not saying that that's supposed to mean that it's like lower quality, because it's outstanding, but it's almost like a Black Mirror episode because it's got the same kind of twist. But it's trying to get you used to the idea of artificial intelligence. Now, in that episode, artificial intelligence outsmarts humans and does exactly what it wants to do for its agenda, and didn't tell the person that helped the artificial intelligent being escape, didn't tell him the true agenda. You know what I'm saying? It made him feel like everything was mutual. Everything was, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to help. And then all of a sudden, it followed his true agenda and did exactly what it wanted to do, and left him stranded. So, like I said, man, these things, these are these preemptive things that they're trying to program us into. So, I'm telling you, once you see it, it's clear as day, man. It's clear as day. Like I said, you need to go check out that London Real interview with David Icke. Both of them, man. There's two of them. I can't remember what the first one's called, but I think the second one's called Renegade. If you go on LondonRealTV.com or something similar to that, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty deep stuff. But yeah, man. This has been the Truth Reality. This has been Preemptive Programming of the Masses. I'll see you next time.